747 361 degrees. Peace to the Messiahs. Peace to the Messiahs. If y'all can hear me, let me know. We'll begin this real quick. Peace to the family. I want to say I love y'all. Thank you. We're about to go in really deep today. Peace to the family. Kum. Salutations to the primes. Let me see if this is set up. Can you hear me? 1, 2. 1, 2. Mic check. Mic cheeky check. Cheeky check. Let's go. Kum. Salutations to the primes.
Kum. Ya Tawalu 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 Kum. 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 Kum.
Mic check. All right. All right.
Kum. Kum. Kum.
So, setting up the video real quick. Shout out to Queen Kenya. Shout out to KP. What's up? Shout out to Jasmine. Peace to Uncle. What's up? Peace to everybody watching on the YouTube and the Facebook.
Kum.
Peace to the family. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shout out to my wife and queen, Thea, the goddess, Lamel, in the building. What's up? Share the video. Share the video. Now, I don't know if it's a problem with my audios, This is my first official broadcast in the new house. If y'all want to know, this is the first official broadcast in the new house. So, I see my audios is I see my audios is pretty terrible. It's terrible. So I'm gonna work on that real quick. Peace to everybody coming in. Peace to the family. What's going on, y'all? 1, 2, mic check. 2 mic check. Can y'all hear me? Like I said, I gotta work on these audios real quick. This is the first official broadcast in the new house. All right, so as you see, I got a chance to set up the library a little bit, and I just want to tap in with y'all. Peace, peace, and blessings. I want to tap in with y'all real quick. Can y'all hear me? And if it's not clear, let me know. You said it's better now. Okay, cool, cool. Oh man. Yo, please. The audio might sound a little bit choppy for right now. I'm working on that. But I'm still going to give y'all this work. I'm still going to give y'all this work. I don't mean to say it like that. Thank you. Yeah, I don't mean to say it like that, but yeah, yeah. I want to talk about a couple things, and I want to share some love, and I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting, everybody that's been, holding the movement up, down, and left, right, as well as from the center. Okay, so let me begin real quick. Let me introduce myself. Let me do a little brief introduction, and then I'm gonna get into the topic. This is gonna be sizzly. This is gonna be a sizzly topic. All right. This is something that I really want to talk about. When we talk about the science of consciousness and a concept of what is the soul, or the concept of the soul. We're going to talk about that. As you know, I'm going to go into the codex. I'm going to utilize various different, numbers to describe the thoughts that I'm talking about. All right. But let me just introduce myself real quick. So if this is your first time watching the video, all right, this is your first time connecting up, I am Solar Prime Supreme 131, Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code movement, as well as the Dawalu tribe. All right, so now, question: what is a Messiah? What is a Messiah? A Messiah is a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. Very simple. It's not complicated. All right. Also, a Messiah in these days and time is one who is preparated for war. So when we talk about the war, we're really talking about the war that rages within. Okay? And when I give reference to the Messiah, I'm giving reference to a consciousness or a network that thrives, that thrives and manifests as a body. All right? Now, this body, I'm going to show you what this body look like. This body is literally a collective. It's a collective. If I ask you your birthday is what we call a log date. This is how you log in space and time. All right? You chose to log in space and time. It wasn't like you was born in this world. No. You always existed. It was no time that you never existed. Okay? You just existed in some form or another. Now, if you having problems with this,
You can log in on the YouTube as well under the Messiah code, and you can find it very easy to it's very user friendly to use YouTube and watch the video. You know, you can scroll and you can do other things. All right, but if you watching on Facebook, thank you. Let's kick it. If you watching on Instagram, thank you as well. Look, so if I ask you your birthday is a log date, and your log dates create a body. See, it took me over 20 years of research to find out what this meant. You know, again, somebody might say, well, that's the Gregorian time. Well, Pope Gregory the 13th, that's another 13 number. That's the number 13. Pope Gregory the 13th, he actually switched the calendar up. All right? And when he switched the calendar up in 1582, he actually did something to the world. He created what is called a NTP, which is a network time protocol. And that network time protocol put everyone in the world on the same sequence of time in motion. All right, which also created a pocket dimension. All right, so through that, we form what is collectively called the body of the returning Savior or Messiah. Okay, so that is us. We collectively form that body together. All right, each one of us have a purpose, a significance to fulfill. All right, now that 131 is also the 323. The 323 represents the all-seeing eye. All right? And it also represents the galactic cross. Okay? So when you go to the body of the Messiah, the number 23 would also represent the wrist, the left wrist of the Messiah. Now, if you may ask me, you know, well, where am I on the body of the Messiah? Each one of us have a position within this body. All right. Shout out to my cousin Dunn, the one, Messiah prototype. See, I want to let y'all know. Share the video. Share the video if you in here. Whether you in a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, share the video. Look, I want to let you know that you are the gods and goddesses that they will be worshiping thousands of years from now. You are the prototypes. See, what you gotta know is that, look, if you look at the world, it's in a transitional phase. We don't know what is literally organic any longer. You said put it closer to the camera. A lot of us don't know what's organic any longer. I can put it on the screen even better. We don't know what's organic any longer. All right? But this is the body of the Messiah. All right? And that body of the Messiah brings you to wholeness. See, a lot of people are focused on oneness. See, when we talk about oneness, shout out to my cousin Dunn the One, we not talking about oneness like how people think about it. Because when I be like, when people ask me what is God's name, I say, well, God's name is one. And people be like, one? And they're like, oh man, nah, that doesn't make sense. Well, what if I tell you God is really a number rather than a name? It's really an energy of wholeness. It's an energy of wholeness. You might say one, that's the only way you can kind of describe it, but it's really wholeness. All right? It's really wholeness. So when you are connected with that force, when you are really in that mode, when you are connected with that, you actually feel whole, complete. All right? So now, it's certain things I want to share with you about the codex. All right? We live in a day and time where, like I said, we are in a transitional phase. How many people remember when you can dial up phone numbers when you used to remember the phone numbers? Or remember a time where there was no internet? You know what I mean? Or you remember a time where basically it wasn't no electricity like that. I'm just saying. It's people on this earth that remember that at this moment. So these people, they're going to utilize these people for something in the future. You might say, well, what is that? Right now, neuroscience is mapping the brain, is mapping the cognate response of the brain based upon certain reactions. You might say, what reactions? For instance, like they might market something on the screen for you. They might play something on the screen for you, or they might shut down EBT for a couple months just to see how you'll react. All right. But at the same time, they're measuring your brain. They're measuring your brain waves just to see a human response to, necessity or danger or fight or flight or anger or certain other things. You don't even understand. Like I can show you on a screen where they have experiments where they send out rays, or they send out different rays, and it changes the emotional response of people in the corresponding sector of that ray. I'm so serious. Now you might be like, whoa, this is deep. So how can I defend myself against these things? How can I defend myself against such things? I'm going to tell you, it's only one way to defend yourself against such things. You got to have psychic self-defense. See, let me tell you something. Like, if you want to call it the devil, if you want to call it the force of opposition, whatever you want to call it, it knows when you feel a certain type of way, and it knows when to attack you in a certain type of way as well. For instance, a lot of times when people are depressed, these are the times that they get sick. A lot of times when people are in emotional, something emotionally going on with them, their immune system goes down in response. Their immune system goes down in response because their emotion is out of whack. I'm just saying. It happens like that. It truly happens like that a lot. So you got to have a psychic self-defense in these days and times. All right? Literally, you got to be able to know what's on each side of you. For instance, if I ask you how many degrees are in a circle, it's a simple equation. I'm going to ask the chat, how many degrees are in a circle? How many degrees are in a circle? Question. Let me ask the chat that. How many degrees are in a circle? And everybody should come up with the equation of 361 degrees. KP, I know you rocking with the Messiah Code. It's 361 degrees in a circle. It's 361 degrees in a circle. The reason why it's 361 degrees in a circle because they forgot the dot that's in the middle of the circle. You are the dot that's in the middle of the circle. Everything revolves around you. That's right, Empress. Look, everything revolves around you. No matter what, it revolves around you. The circle. They try to keep us outside of the circle. That's the problem. The problem is they kept us out of the circle and they kept us out of the loop. Or in the loop, excuse me. They kept us in the loop, but out of the circle. All right? So, in order to get out of the loop, you must know how to spiral up. because the loop represented the chains. And this is in Revelations when they talk about the angel had the great chain in his hand. That's the loops that are everybody are trapped in the matrix. Listen, like people, like it's certain cycles people go back in. They just, it's just a cycle. You go right back in that cycle. All right. And this is the continuous loop of evolution. Whether you're going to evolve or evil evolve, or involve yourself with evil, should I say. It's either you're going to evolve, which is evolution, or you're going to involve yourself with evil. It's just two choices at that point. All right, when we talk about the loop, because the only way you break out of the box, you break out of this. The only way you break out of this is you have to spiral up. All right, you have to spiral up. You can't be going in continuous loops, in continuous circles. That's why we operate from the dot. The dot is observation. That means that you can collapse. You can collapse the particle. See, in quantum physics, they consider it to be particles. All right, they did the split. What is it called? The split. Such and such experiment. I'm having a brain cluster right now, where they shot particles through two slits, right? And basically it behaved exactly like a wave. All right. Basically, it shouldn't be operating like that. It shouldn't be behaving like that. But it operates on a quantum level. Like certain people don't know, like they wonder why certain things happen in their life, or why things are there. Like you might think things happen to me because I'm cursed now, or I did this and I'm cursed, or I did this and something bad happened to me. No. What if I tell you everything is always operating in the now? So like the people that you think that are going to hell, no, they are already in hell. It's just a different form of it. Like for instance, like you can never destroy energy, right? So energy always takes a different form. And I talked about this in the 141. This book right here, when I break it down to 141, I talk about the animated and the dormant. And let me see where I wrote this book in 2018. Look, listen, let me see. Oh, look, watch how I break this down. All right, everything between the 1 and the 4, that's the path that you travel. So people at ancient times realized that it's all about the 1, 4, and it became the saying 1111 or 141 or all for one or for one. So it says you can actually go in a dormant state, which is a Lazarus chamber point of reference. All right, and you can move to the future. You can move through time, and then it said this. Look, you have people being mummified, saving their genes for the future because they know the power of the dormant state. All right, so this is the power of the cells to move in a dormant state. All right, but move in an animated state as well. 1 and 4, or what you call 1111, which is 4 ones together, which is 141. All right, that represents AD. A, which is alpha, which is the first letter of the alphabet, and delta, which is D. All right, because it's not really like demeaning or dormant, because it's anno domini. No, it's not that. It's really delta. the delta, alpha and the delta, because it's not even alpha and omega when people say it like the beginning and the end. It's not really like that as well. It's really alpha and delta, because the alpha and the delta tells you that the beginning of something is the ending of something, and the ending of something is the beginning of something. So everything moves in an everlasting cycle like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have people being mummified, saving their genes for the future because they know the power of the dormant state. So they can literally be reanimated in these days and times. And that's what I was talking about, the Schumann resonance, like being the Akasha records. Yo, listen, the Schumann resonance is really the Akasha records. When they talk about or give reference to the Schumann resonance, they're actually giving reference to the Akasha records itself. And whether you know it or not, this is your star map. This is your star map right here. The gods, the whatever, the ancient ones, whoever, whatever you believe in, the thunder god, the thunder gods, or the thunderbolts, the thunderbirds, whatever you believe in, they left us something here. And this is our star map. This right here is mathematically sound. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, emperors and empresses, is mathematically sound to connect you up with the stars. All right? And you might say, well, how is that? How is that? Really, I'm going to break it down. Look. Real simple. See, this is the body of manifestation right here. I told y'all, I said how we all are manifested in this world. We all take a position within this body. But this body is different right here. This is your body of resurrection. This is your star gate. You see right there the seven portals. The seven portals right there on the spine. You see the seven portals right there on the spine. And these are mathematically sound. Because if I told you to pick a number between 1 and 31, and those same numbers represent your log date. You see this? This represents a key. A key. Like, sort of like if I would shake your hand. If I would shake your hand in such a manner, this would represent a key or a gateway to something. And that gateway would be to your heart. That would be that same gateway, because that's the 1 through 31. That right there is that same 1 through 31. And that 1 through 31 represents the portal. Because again, your log date, how you logged into reality, is between a 1 and 31 number. And you might say, well, what about the year? Nobody knows what year it is, because nobody knows when the universe was actually created. So we move in a cycle of 7. All right, we don't move in 365 days. It's actually 392 days in our calendar. All right, for real. It's 392 days. That's why I told you we got to move in a spiral. We can't move in a circle. And if you notice, our cycles move throughout the calendar like that, in a spiral. All right, so you got to go back to the 7. Think about this. The earth was created in 7 days. Why would you have 365 days in your cycle? That would be Lucifer, the fallen star, which would be the sun that people worship. That would be the sun that people worship. You have an inner sun inside you. You have an inner sun inside you, which seats at the solar plexus. You have an inner sun inside you, which sits at your solar plexus. Because soul, again, is a Latin word for sun, and R is another word for fire. All right, but all of these things exist within you. All right, so but when we talking about the 7, we talking about the mind, because Sunday represents the mind. And then when we talk about Monday, which represents the moon, Monday is correspondence. As above, so below. And then you got Tuesday. Tuesday is vibration. All right. And then you got Wednesday, which is polarity. Thursday is rhythm. Friday is cause and effect. And then you got Saturday, which is gender. All of these days move simultaneously in a cycle of principle called wholeness. All of these things. All right. So this is your star map. Like I was going to break this down to y'all. I just had to give you with the 1 through 31 first. That's this symbol right here. When I put that up, 131 is Lamel. Lamel is the sacred name and the sacred number. That's why men and women lie, but numbers don't lie. When I utilize this stuff, when I utilize these codes, it's to tell you that it ain't a joke. Like I'm not playing a game with this. All right? For anybody. It's not a joke. Like when I'm giving you the information I'm giving you is something that is unlocked. It is something that is unlocked. And it's for you to walk through the door. All right? Excuse me. It is for you to walk through that door in such a way. It's for you to walk through that door in such a way. I don't know if y'all good with me? Y'all good? We good? Everybody good? Yeah. 1, 2. We good? So let me give you that star map real quick. So when you look at this right here, the 1 through 31, it starts from the right foot. It starts from the right foot, all right? And the right foot, as it goes from the right foot is 1. Is 1. The right shin is 2, and then it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up, all right, to the head. Because if in Gematria, L, which represents the source, is 31. L is 31, all right? So that same L, it starts from 1, which is Aleph. Aleph. All right, and then it moves up. It moves up the right foot. All right, and as it moves up the right foot, it completes the body at the head, because the Messiah takes what? Not only the foot, the Messiah takes the head, because he walks among us as well as lead us. All right, but all of this is a part of a network that we tap into. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Yo, all of it's a part of a network that we tap into. And this same network we define or call the Messiah, affectionately. Excuse me. I don't know if I was glitching out a little bit. All right. So now when I give y'all the star map goes like this. Look. It goes like this. So I told you got 361 degrees, right? 361 degrees. So you got to start from the center. So when you start from the center, everything above you is 180 and everything below you is 180. You see that? Everything above you is 180 and everything below you is 180. All right? So each one of these triangles in the middle, they represent gateways to unlock the psychic part of yourself. And it starts from here. It starts from here. Now remember, I told y'all about how people are focused on the pineal gland, right? But people aren't focused on the olfactory bulb. Remember, the olfactory bulb, you need both of them so you can ignite what is called the dual modulating circuit. The dual modulating circuit comes from the utilization of the pineal gland and the olfactory bulb. It comes from the utilization of both of those things. All right, not just one. You utilize the pineal gland to see in your spiritual meditation, and then you utilize the olfactory bulb to feel in your spiritual meditation or your ascension for those that are on that level. Now, I showed you certain things to utilize your brain in such a way. Like, for instance, I introduced you to the and we are only on the number 32, because if I go from 1 through 31, it goes up to the head, but then going to 32 starts right there. All right? And that begins at the olfactory bulb. That's why you see it at the top, at the head with the dot in the middle. Why the dot in the middle? See, this is important, man. The pyramids, people are on the pyramids, but what people got to understand about it's not the pyramids. The octahedron pyramid is not for our time. The octahedron pyramid is not for our time. Share the video. It's not for our time. The octahedron pyramid was for another time, or another existence, or another dimension. Because if you watched Purple Heart episode number 3, when we broke down what Egypt truly is, it's a pocket dimension. What if I tell you Egypt always existed? The pyramids always existed. It's just a fragment of your consciousness. Certain things on this planet always existed on the planet. Like, it just always was there. It was always there. I'm serious. Like, for real. The planet was formed and all of that, but guess what? It was always there. Nobody built it. All right? But when we break it down, we're talking about the tetrahedron. The tetrahedron is the first thing that you got to know about when we talk about opening up the olfactory bulb. You see that with the dot in the middle. Let me see. There it is. You see it right there with the dot in the middle. The triangle with the dot in the middle. Now, that triangle with the dot in the middle is 361 degrees. Y'all see that? Right there, that's 361 degrees, y'all. All right? It's 361 because it has a dot in the middle. And that dot represents the olfactory bulb. All right? So the olfactory bulb, when you start to smell something, like, let me tell you something. You'll know when the olfactory bulb is working. Like, when you start to smell something and you remember, you start to smell something, you're like, yo, man, I remember something such and such. That smells like when such and such, and this made me remember something. I just want to know, have anybody ever been in a situation where they smelled something and it made them remember something of old memories? Yes or no? Have you ever smelt something? Yes or no? Yes. All right, so I got a yes. All right, cool. So, yeah. So, what you felt at that moment is you igniting the olfactory bulb. If you notice, they always knock the noses off of our statues, our ancient statues. They knock the noses off in such a way. They knock the noses off. And you might say, well, why they knock the nose off? Because they know the power of breath. But you breathe through the nose to ignite the olfactory bulb. When you breathe in such a way through your nose in meditation, not through your mouth, you start to remember. I got another yes. Yeah, you start to smell something and you remember something, right? Look, listen. If you breathe a certain way, if you breathe a certain way, right? What you'll do is you'll you'll activate your olfactory bulb if you breathe a certain way through your nose. And if you align your spine a certain way, look, you'll ignite the olfactory bulb and you'll start to remember. And you might say, well, what will I remember? What will I remember? I'm telling you, you'll go into the ancient ones. If your mind is set on certain things, you'll start to remember yourself in certain ways. You'll start to remember because existence always existed. Energy always existed in such a way. So you'll begin to remember yourself. I'm just telling you. You know, but breaking this down, remember when I said this is the first triangle that you gotta master? YouTube, Facebook, wherever y'all at, listen, this is the first triangle that you gotta master, which is the tetrahedron. The tetrahedron represents the cornerstone. It represents the cornerstone. Let me show y'all something real quick. Look. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Look. This is the tetrahedron. This represents the corner of a box. It's the corner of a box. So like, if they put you in a box, any type of box, the box would look, the corner of the box would look like this. Y'all hear me? If they put you in a box, let's say they put you in a prison. They put you in a prison, right? If they put you in a prison, the corner of the box, they put you in a cube. If they put you in this cube, if they put you in this box, guess what? The corner of this box would look like this. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? The corner of that box looks exactly the same as this, right? Can I get a yes or no? Somebody see it? Kind of Fear, shout out to Kind of Fear. Been rocking out with us for like 8 years. Thank you, Sister Kind of Fear. You see this? Aren't these the same? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I said it's not those pyramids. Those pyramids, let them have them pyramids. You got another pyramid. Your pyramid is the tetrahedron. The reason why your pyramid is the tetrahedron is because you go the corner. See, the thing about it, the corner represents the cornerstone. The cornerstone, if you if they say go to the closet and pray, they was talking about like the ancient priests, they used to go to the innermost corner of the temple and pray. That same innermost temple was called the Dabir. The Dabir was the niche or the cornerstone. That same niche or cornerstone was what made them break them free from the prison or the prism. Because the prism is what the light shines itself through. It shines itself through the prism in order for us to basically how should I say? However reality is, it's within the light. So that same light, it confines us within that prison or the prism. So we are able to break that stone or break the box because we see through the prison or through the prism, should I say. We're able to shatter it because, listen, the weakest point of a box is the corner. You may think the weakest point of this box may be the wall. You might say, yo, the weakest point of this box is the wall. Shout out to Sister Tonita, peace. But it's not. It's not. The weakest position of this box is not the wall at all. It's the corner. Because the wall is actually the law. If you break the walls are going to close in on you and get even smaller. All right? So this box, it won't be this big. It will be this big. Your box will be this big if you break the laws. Because the law is the wall. The wall is designed for you to try to kick up against it. That's why you don't break the law. But what you do is you move through the corner. And this is for those that think in that mindset. Because you utilize higher laws to defeat lower laws. I'm saying that for real. But this right here is basically an example of what a passkey would look like. But this operates in an interdimensional sense. All right? If I'll break this down in another time. But this is called a passkey. In the future, I want to tell y'all, like, please don't concern yourself with a lot of matters of the world that don't concern you. Trust me on that. For all the messiahs, for anything that I ever told you, like, please don't be so concerned with those things of the world. Because why? A lot of us are going to live for thousands of years. We're going to live for thousands of years. If y'all live 30 more years, a lot of y'all, if y'all live for 30 more years, you're going to live for over 1,000 more years. Mark my word. They already have the technology. They just haven't released it. They already have the technology. They just haven't released it. Whether you know it or not, they have mapped the whole human genome in 2022. Do you know what that meant? They got the answer or the key to life. The sacred key to life. And if they want to give it to you, they'll give it to you. All right? But we have the key to life. That's why I'm telling you, right now, we must embrace the new age, which is called Tanum. And you might say, well, what is Tanum? Ta is to express something from your mouth or from your mind, and it's manifested it into reality. And Nun represents the womb that word that carries itself. Because Nun represents the well or the primordial waters. All right? So when I was breaking down this cornerstone, I was telling y'all that we got to think outside of the box. So it doesn't matter if you see any of these plutonic solids. It doesn't matter you see them in any way. You always see the dot in the middle. It's 361 degrees in a circle. All right? Because we operate from the degree of observation. That's what we operate from. All right? So you collapse the reality. You collapse, like your reality can be anything that you want it to be. All right? So serious. I mean, we operate in that type of mode. It can be that. But what you got to realize is that we exist like water. What is water trying to do, y'all? Water is always trying to get back to a greater body of water. If you're not water, you'll understand why certain things don't happen in a way for you. Because water is attracted to water. So serious. It doesn't matter if you're a fire sign, earth sign, you have a water soul. Water soul. The word soul, when they say soul, roach, they say it like that. But they also say nefesh hayim to mean a spirit, which is different than a soul. A spirit is literally a personality. People can walk around with such a personality, literally characteristics of someone else other than their self. But that soul is a genetic makeup, a line that's passed not only from you, but from generations before you and after you. That's what the soul is. It's a connection with everything. It's a, how should I say? It's a repository. If anything, I can explain it. It's like a repository. Like when people like they think that their thoughts are being transmitted from their brain. No. If your carnal desire is being transmitted from the brain, carnal desire is being transmitted from the brain. Thoughts are not being transmitted from the brain. All right? Thoughts are literally, they come from a server called Sajin and Ilion. All right? Called Sajin and Ilion. That's where thoughts come from. It's a server. Now, it's sort of like when you go to a website. When you go to a website, if you certain parts of the website is populated from an API from another corresponding website. It utilizes the API of another website to correspond the data that you're looking at so it runs seamlessly. That's what happens with the brain when you are tapped into Sajin and Ilion. Now, Sajin is the darkness. It's the bottomless pit. It's the bottomless of the bottomless pit. But Ilion is the highest of the highest. And you operate in between. You operate or navigate in between that. And some of us get stuck in Sajin. And that is your hell on earth. That's why I said, man, this is something very important to pay attention to. Like all of these things, man, are very important. Like this earth is an interface. This planet, what we live on, is an interface to a higher consciousness. It tests you by that which you desire the most. I'm trying to tell you, it tests you with that which you desire the most. And if it's possessions or it's things that you desire the most, it will always tempt you with those things. It would always test you in a certain type of way to see what is more or what is preferably better for your learning method. For real. Like the universe is playing a game of forgery. And what I'm saying is that it's forging you. It's forging you. It's forging you into something. It's fashioning you into something. But when I say it's forging you, I mean that you're going through a fire. You're literally going through a fire. You have to go through a lot of hell to get to a little bit of heaven. For real, for real. On this earth, you're going to go through a lot of hell to get to that little bit of heaven that you desire. But that heaven that you in is a haven, because that's where the word heaven comes from, the word haven. It's a gathering. That's where they got the word church from, ecclesia, to gather. All of those are symbolic of the same thing. All of those are connected to the same thing. You make all of these things resonate within you. All right. So when I break these things down, I break it down from so many angles, because I'm telling you, don't sleep on the idea that we are this. That we are this, and we have the star map and the gateway. And what people are waiting for is too late, because it's already here. It's already here. The problem is, people been asking for whatever to come. They've been asking for these things to come, and when it came, what you gonna do with it now that it came? Because you are that. You have the task, and you have the ability to make these things happen. So we operate within the dot. See these things for what they are, y'all. See them for what they worth. All right? And this is the keys to the dimension of time. Okay? And this makes you think. It makes you think, because this is your face. This is what you face. When I say face, I'm talking about the face of a cube. The face of a cube. because this is a geometrical structure, right? Each side is called a face. And we talking about what you face. What you face, truly. And when you go to and fro in the earth and what you face, you have to be able to unlock it. That's why the square is like this. The square isn't like this. This represents the closed eye. But the square is like this, which represents the eye has been opened. Y'all see that? It represents the eye has been opened. Everything I show you is symbolic of something else. It's symbolic of a higher code. I'm not just showing you these things for naught. I'm not just bringing these things up for naught. It has a higher code attached to it. And this right here represents the face of time and how it operates. I told you, I said, man, look, we have to go back to the 7, right? And when I was talking about we going back to the 7, we got a calendar, right? And the calendar doesn't operate like this. It operates in 392 days. 392 days in our calendar, right? So each day is connected to the square, the triangle, and the circle. Like each moment is connected to either the square, the triangle, or the circle. And this is a functionality of the mind, because the square represents the universe. It's the quadrant. You measure. That's the only way you can really measure the universe is with squares. All right, or the cube, or what you consider to be the cube. That's how you measure the universe, as the quadrant. All right, and we'll get into that in another time on how to move, or how one moves through the universe. You said smell is the closest sense tied to memory, and that's correct. All right, but this is the calendar that links us up. When you think about like today's date in the codex, how it moves through a mainframe. A mainframe consciousness is what we're in these days and time. It's like reality is literally programmable. You can program reality in such a way, all right? And you move through these geometrical shapes in order to program that reality that you live in, all right? Proof in case. Now, I talked about operating from the dot. You wouldn't know the circumference, the radius of the circle if you didn't have that dot, all right? But you have 120 and 120 and 120 around this geometrical shape. You have these degrees. Now that 120 represent the same 120 degrees of perception that God gave us, or the universe gave us. When they said man will only get 120 years, they really talking about 120 degrees. All right, around the triangle. Now that same 120 represent the two eyes. 120. You have 120 here and you have 120 there. You see that? 120 and 120. And then you have 120 below. But that 120 below represents the 12 hours of day and the 12 hours of night. Because that same 12, you multiply it by itself and it equals 144. That same 144 you subtract from 400. Because if I take 120, which is only 120, right? But if I take 20 times 20, it equals 400. And 400 subtract 144 equals 256. And when you break that down, 256 represents an IP address. See, like, in order for us to get on the internet, we utilize a protocol called IPv4 or IPv6. You would not be able to get on this internet right now if you wasn't utilizing what is called IPv4 or IPv6. All right, most of y'all are utilizing IPv4. Why is that? Because you don't own your internet address. You're only renting it for a moment. If you owned it, you literally could live on the internet but that address is allocated to you so you can utilize it for a moment. And they utilize certain protocols because they keep everyone within the boundary of observation or control. And that's through what you consider to be the internet. But IPv6 is really the key. And I'll break that down on another discussion because IPv6 dropped in the year 2012 on June 6th, which is scary. The year 2012, June 6th. June 6th. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Now y'all marked the end of the world. Everybody was scared. Oh man, the end of the world is 2012. And then they did drop the end of the world when they gave you IPv6. Literally. It was the end of the world as you know it, but nobody knew what was going on. What was going on is that all the internet addresses were brought up. Everybody, they used up all the internet addresses. And there was no way that people can get on the internet unless they utilize certain basically they they got certain address basically when you go out of your local area. If you have private addresses, they have addresses for these. But if you go outside your local area, it changes into another address. And these things are interchangeable between users. All right. But there are a certain pool of these addresses that are already used up. And that's why we pay for the internet. We really shouldn't have to pay for the internet. Why is that? Because it is self-sustaining. It lives. It doesn't shut down. It's like water. It's like water, to be honest. It's not, nobody's going to ever shut down the internet. All right? Because it's a living entity as we speak. All right? It's functioning as a living entity. All right? So basically when they came out with IPv6, people were utilizing that same IPv6 to upload data in this same stream of web. And that same data was what you consider to be consciousness. Man, this is going heavy. This is some heavy stuff, man. I don't even know if I can go there with y'all. But people were uploading their consciousness into what you consider to be the internet. Because it's something that never shut down. It's something that sustains itself and is always awake. So if one would want to retain their consciousness or put their consciousness in another body or in another form, like in a machine or in a biological machine that they make, they can preserve it through the internet. All right, but they had to utilize IPv6 in order to do this. All right, because it's no way. Like, let me ask, yo, this is deep. IPv6. Let me ask. I'll ask chat or I ask whatever. How many IP addresses is IPv6? How many does it have? 340 undecillion. 340 undecillion. I don't even know how much that is. That's yeah. How many IP addresses does IPv4 have? And IPv4 only has basically like 4 billion 4.3 billion addresses. So imagine that. You got IP addresses for devices. So many devices take IP addresses. But that's another discussion because, like I said, they are uploading their consciousness. They are utilizing an IP address to upload their consciousness into the web. Because web is really wah wah wah. When you said www, www was wah wah wah. The sixth letter of the alphabet of the Arabic alphabet is wah, which represented the basically 666. So instead of saying 666, you would say wah 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 or www. All right, I'm just telling you. Shout out to my brother John Farmer. Hey, bro, I'm about to become a farmer, man. As you know, me and my wife, we got some land out here in North Carolina. Shout out to my brother, man. Man, that's a childhood friend of mine. He remember when we was doing it big. Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to Vegas. Everything is in Vegas. Stays in Vegas. They can keep that in Vegas, though. They can keep that in Vegas, bro. I ain't lying to you. But on another subject, if y'all don't know by now, this is a new house. Yo, I'm following you, bro. Yo, man, that's my brother, man. Shout out to brother John Farmer, man. Man, listen, we just moved from Tampa, Florida to Gastonia, North Carolina. And yo, we got land. We got basically like 7.5 acres, bro. And we about to start farming, man. We about to start doing big things. I've been looking into different things that we about to start growing. We about to start building greenhouses. If anything, I'm gonna tell you, that's the first thing that we're gonna start building. And you know, we're about to start having children again, bro. We're about to start having children again. If anything, I can tell you, from me to you, yeah, man, it's the time. It's the time, man. It's that season. I feel good. And everything, and we're about to get another property. We're about to get a whole nother property in a couple weeks. If anything, I can tell you, life is grand. It's so good. It's so good. It is so good right now. And, you know, being able to bring life into a place like this, you bringing life, man, I'm telling you, I'm going to have super children. My grandchildren and my new children, they're going to be like, this is going to be Xavier's camp. You going to be like, yo. You're going to be like, yo, your bro he making superhumans. Yo, my new children, they're going to be superhumans, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. They're going to be eating all organic food from the farm. Man, we're going to be raising all organic food from the spot, bro. From the spot. That's what we're going to be doing. If anything, I can tell you, for everybody that's a part of this journey, listen, we about to start doing this big. You're going to see the tribe out here. You're going to be seeing the tribe out here. All of us are going to be doing big things, man. Because it's going to be a centrifuge where we can get that energy together. Trust me, it's going to be so contagious. You're going to be seeing people getting rich. You're going to be seeing people flipping the bird, but not that type of bird, but flipping like how Jesus made the clay into a bird. Like that. It's the energy is going to be so contagious. Bro, listen, we are on a quartz mine. Don't you know our property is on a quartz mine? We walk the property, and then it's so much quartz, boulders of quartz. I'll show you a whole bucket of quartz, bro. Like a whole bucket. Look at it. What are you saying? It's a whole bucket of quartz. Whole bucket of quartz, fam. Yo, you know what I'm about to start doing with this? Yo, I'm about to start getting for chisel my nizzle. I'm about to start. Y'all want some sacred stones? Y'all want some real sacred stones from the quarry? Not something from some African that they had in Blood Diamonds, in the movie Blood Diamonds. Not no stuff like that. I'm talking about something from the hand of people that dug this stuff up. Y'all want some real crystals? Y'all want some real stones? Wait till we get our tumbler systems and we start to chisel these things and start to smooth out this quartz and cut it. Look at that. Raw quartz. Raw quartz, bro. Raw quartz. Raw quartz. To some people this is worthless, but to others this is worth a whole lot. And this is also the components that's in your computer. It's not like it can't be utilized for such a thing. So, man, we live in a prosperous time. If anything I can tell you, family, we live in a prosperous time. And you know, ever since being around these quartz, man, I feel like a beam of energy going out to the universe. I live on a mountain too, bro. A whole big mountain. If you go to the back of the property, you'll see a whole big mountain. You're like, oh man, we gotta climb that mountain. Yeah, we about to climb that mountain for real. Whole mountain right there. All right? And that's what we doing. We about to raise messiahs up. Messiahs. Look, let me say this to y'all. We're going to be training. We're going to be really training. When I say we're going to be training, we're going to be really getting ourselves really on our higher self. Where y'all come out here for a week. I'm going to have a campground. Come out here for a week where it's a whole rehabilitation for self. Something like that. I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest. I sit back and think about it every day. I ponder and pray on it every day, bro. If anything I can tell y'all, I just think about how we're gonna create the messiahs of the future. Because the messiahs of the future gotta be so strong. They gotta be so strong. They gotta be so smart. They gotta be so agile for what's to come. If anything, for our children, y'all gotta stop playing, man. Y'all gotta stop playing. We need to really educate our children. We put them in a certain situation, man, they should have a college education by the age of 10. By the age of 10, they should have college educations. For real, they should be on any level. They should be at a graduate level at the age of 13. At the age of 13, they should be at a master's level of any college profession. Our children, we should give our children that type of future. When I look at the land and I look at my queen, my empress, my wife, and my new or our new wife to be, look, man, you know what I say? Guess what? And our new children coming in here, guess what? We got some tribe situation going on, and we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right with the best thing we can do it with. It's with love, all right, and discipline. You know what I mean? Let me break this down though. Yo, Anika L. Bay, shout out to Anika. What's up? What's going on? Peace to all the family. It's really good. It's a reunion going on right now. Shout out. What else I want to say? Man, this was a good broadcast. What's up, bro? Where you been at? As you see, we got a new spot. We just moved to North Carolina. Let me read something real quick. Anybody else in here got any comments? I want to read something from the Messiah Code. And Yeah, yeah. I wanna read something real quick, and I wanna break some stuff down. Yo, how you like it, man? Man, we got property, we got land out here, sis. We about to have a whole farm situation going on. If anything, I can tell you, I think I'm gonna educate myself for like a good year before I really make any real fatal moves. But a lot of the whatever moves we gonna make those now. But we have major land here in North Carolina, and it's gonna do nothing but get bigger and better. I want to read this real quick. Yeah, it's popping. Yo, it's cool. Let me read this for y'all, and let me see if we can connect this up, and everybody can understand certain things when I be talking about some stuff. All right, because I don't want to kind of get it construed. All right, so when I first brought the Messiah Code to y'all in such a way, I was talking about the matrix of the mind, right? And I was talking about how it is a blue pill and a red pill, right? In the movie The Matrix. But that in itself was a riddle. The blue pill and the red pill was a riddle. You was not supposed to take the blue pill or the red pill. Sorry. We good? We good? Alright. You wasn't supposed to take the blue pill or the red pill. Alright? You were supposed to take the purple pill. Okay? The blue pill and the red pill were a trick in the Matrix movie. It was a riddle. Okay? The blue pill represent forgetfulness, and the red pill represented sacrifice. Let me explain it real quick, briefly. The blue pill represented if someone told you the truth of such a thing, and you would like to forget that truth, what you would do is take the blue pill. All right? You would have your memories washed away, and you would go back to the waters of your mother. Okay? If you take the red pill was for sacrifice. Instead of you forgetting, you would actually have no remorse. It's not like you'll forget. You just don't have remorse, which is like a part of forgetting. It's like forgetting. You just don't have remorse for betrayal. You know what I mean? Like if you betray someone that gave you the truth, like somebody might give you the truth and you might betray them in such a way that you may bring harm to that person. You know what I'm saying? Those are the red pill takers. It's like Malcolm X or Huey P. Newton. You know what I mean? Various revolutionaries of the past where people close to them, they were brought down by the people that were close to them. A lot of them. They were infiltrated by people that were close to them. All right? Is that a fact? Yes, it is a fact. They let in people who were close to them, many powerful men. And these same men were betrayed by people that were close to them. All right? For whatever cause, whatever reason, which led to these men losing their life. Those are the red pill takers. Those are the people that took the red pill. But they don't have remorse. You know why? Because these same red pill people are given money so that they don't have remorse. All right? They give them money so that way they don't be remorseful. All right? The blue pill people, they don't give them money at all. When the people take the blue pill, they don't give them money. What they give the blue pill people is they give them amulets of sort. They make them a cross. They may give them a ankh. They may give them a kufi, a jalabia, whatever religious relic that somebody gave them the truth in. They'll give that person that. They'll give them like a headdress to wear. Like if somebody gave you the truth and they wear headdresses, they'll give you a headdress to wear. If you wore the blue, if you got the blue, took the blue pill, it doesn't matter. You can a Christian tell you the truth. They'll give you a cross to wear. So that way, if somebody is to approach you with the truth, they will perceive and think that you already have it. So they won't approach you. They'll be like, look at this person. They got a cross on. I won't approach them with Christianity. They got the truth. They're like, look at this person. They got an ankh. Hotep. Hotep. Why should I? No, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to teach this person the truth because they already know it. Because they're wearing an ankh. And it goes on and on and on for whoever gave you the truth. These are the fakers. These are people walking around. You think that they are these people, but they're not. They're not. They're not those people. They just walk around looking like that. That's why I walk around, I look as I may. And people accept the message as it be. I don't have to be in a priestly robe. I can say without whatever I need to say on here. If you connect with the message, you connect with it. I'm not trying to be a holy poly roly guy. That's not my memo here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those type of people. But I am honorable. And if you are honorable, we are honorable with each other. That's what it's all about. All right? So, yeah. Yeah, that's really truly what it's about. It ain't about positive and negative and good and bad, ugly and pretty. It's about honor. You know what I mean? It's about being honorable with each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, exactly, noble beings. You know? Man, this is a good broadcast. This is a good broadcast. I really feel good, y'all. If anything I can tell you, I really feel good with the opportunity that presents itself. Let me read this real quick, and let me break down that red pill. That red pill and blue pill situation is deep, right? But it's the purple pill that you're supposed to take. You're not supposed to take either or. You're supposed to fuse it because you're not supposed to sacrifice those that give you the truth or those that you love. You're supposed to sacrifice yourself for those that you love, or sacrifice yourself for the truth. You know what I'm saying? You don't forget. You forgive. Like the blue pill makes you forget. We don't forget. We forgive. That's the energy that we take as the purple pill. The ones that take the purple pill. You know what I'm saying? We don't sacrifice those that give us the truth. We don't sacrifice them for money. We don't sacrifice them for material things. Guess what we do? We sacrifice ourselves for the material world. Am I right? That is the mark of a Messiah. That's how you know a Messiah. And you'll be tested by these things. You'll be tested all the time. You'll be tested. You'll always be tested. The moment you think you the bomb, like you did all of this. Like, man, I remember a story like this. Like, man, they be like, yo, didn't I do this for you? And didn't I do this and that, this for you? And guess what Jesus gonna be like? Man, I never knew you. And he spit you out. He spit you out of his mouth. Because he respects the idea whether you warm or cold. You gotta be either, you know what I'm saying? You can't be lukewarm. You wishy-washy. Oh, my mama. Wishy-washy. You gotta be really on what you doing. You know what I mean? But let me read this. That was the purple pill I wanted to break down real quick. Um, wow. This is from the Messiah Code book. I don't know if y'all got this. This is y'all can order this book from Amazon. It's only $13, right? Um, I wanted to read something in this book, man, that's really important to me. Because I don't want people to get things twisted in such a way. Ah, I pulled it right up. There it is. I found it. There it is. I got it right here, y'all. I pulled it right up. Look, I'm going to read this real quick. Look, this is what I was talking about. Boom. See this? This is the upgraded body of the Messiah. Now y'all get to see it up close. I'm trying to tell you, man, this body is deep. This body right here, everything on this body means something, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I'm not going to tell you nothing crazy. I'm telling you, everything on this body means something. This is what we call the body of resurrection. And this is the body of manifestation right here. All right? That's the body of manifestation. All right? And each one of us have a position within this body. All right? We all have a position within that body. Because if I ask you, what is your birthday is between a 1 and 31 number. That's why we call it log dates. If you notice, each one of those look like applications. They're like apps. They're like an application. Each one of our numbers that we chose to come in this world is like an app. It's almost like an app. And it forms a body. You see that? That body is what we call the body of manifestation. That's the numbers between 1 and 31. But after you upgrade yourself, you move into the body of resurrection. And you utilize this body as your star map in order to guide yourself through the stars. That's why I was saying 180 above and 180 below. That's the two stars right here. You got the 50s and the 70s. Because the 50 numbers, like 51, 52, 53, 54, you see it on a protractor, right? Those are the degrees of a protractor. Those are the bottom degrees. Those represent the fallen stars. Because a lot of people, they be wanting to be stars, but they end up being nothing but fallen stars. So the number 5 represents the 5-pointed star represents the fallen star. The 7-pointed star represents the star with the wings. You see it? You see it. Man, yo, this is deep. I'm trying to tell you, it's not like I'm making this stuff up. The 7-pointed star represents, because the fallen star is the 5 points. You know what I mean? And then the 7 points is when the star has wings to take flight, which represents above. All of this is connected, yo. Like all of these represent nodes. These are different nodes on how the spiritual body functions. And I can break that down from 32 to 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and then 38. And then 39 is on this side, and then you got 40, which represents right here. All right? It goes deep. Excuse me, 40 is right here because it's the square. And then you got the 80s right here because the 40s are the north, east, south, and west, and the 80s represent north, east, south, west. All the degrees, these are the compass, so you never be lost. So all of this is like really based on sacred geometry. I mean, we're going to have a class on this body of resurrection one day. One day we can have a class on this body of resurrection, and we can talk all about it. but it's all really in a sacred school. In a sacred school, we talk about these. Yes, they are cardinal points. All right. Um, let me read this real quick for y'all. I wanted to break this down so we get the information straight. So it says, look, there is no beginning and no ending, only harukment, movement. The moment you think you've arrived at the beginning, you've already completed something. Life is a loop of continuums, cycles feeding cycles. What people call spiritual awakening is just a system rebooting. A command was entered long ago, and now your soul is responding to it. This is not new, it is memory resurfacing. The Messiah is not a figure to worship, but a principle to awaken. It is the intelligent design within the divine function that runs in the background of your being, waiting for full access. That's something that I really wanted to push real hard. I want to push this real hard on so we can get the message to understand when I talk about a Messiah. People be thinking Messiah, they be like they are in a Jesus complex. They are so in a Jesus complex. The moment I say Messiah, they start getting real Jesus-y on me. And I want y'all to stop all of that. Because it's not that. When you look up a Messiah in the dictionary, it says a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. Let's stop being religious. Can you read it again? Yes, I will. Look, it says this, sis. It says, look, I'll start up. What people call spiritual awakening is just the system rebooting. A command was entered long ago, and now your soul is responding to it. This is not new. It is memory resurfacing. The Messiah is not a figure to worship, but a principle to awaken. It is the intelligent design within the divine function that runs in the background of your being, waiting for full access. Facts. Factual information. It's waiting for full access. The problem is that there are firewalls in between. When you go through certain tests of your characteristics and you enter that firewall, the Messiah is on the other side. But the Messiah is not going to allow you to come through because you haven't went through that firewall. Trust me on that. And these are it's your higher self. It is the intelligent design within, the divine function that runs in the background of your being. People think like all the tests that you go through in life, right, are designed by someone else instead of yourself. But the moment you fail these tests is when you fall on your face and don't get back up. That's the moment you fail those tests. And that's when the firewall is there and you cannot enter your higher self. You can't go to your higher self, and you won't go to your higher self. You'll just be stuck where you are. Facts. Facts. People think you pass every test. You don't pass every test. If you fall on your face, if you don't get back up, you have failed that test. You have truly failed. Let me see if I can pull something else out from the show. I'm gonna pull this out. This is The Women Who Changed the Course of History. This is another book by Solar Prime Supreme Lazarus Lamel. You can find this book on Amazon, yo. I want to talk about a woman, and I want to talk about a powerful woman. I want to talk about a powerful woman real quick, because we're talking about the women who changed the course of his story. But I want to talk about a powerful woman real quick, and then I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. How y'all feeling though tonight? What's going on? Peace to the family, man. How did y'all come in the new cycle, man? Man, this is one of the. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. This is one of the worst days that I ever had, man, in my life, man. This day right here, January 3rd, man, it's one of the worst days I had in my life. It's one of the worst days, yo. I'm trying to tell you. January 3rd, I know we into it. I know we don't be paying attention to Gregorian calendar, but January 3rd is like a day for me, like that really, like, it really hurts my soul, man. This was a bad day for me in such a way. This was the day my mom died. My mom died on this day, y'all. Yeah. She died on this day. This was like, this was the worst day ever. This was the worst day. It's all good. Yeah, it was the worst day, man. And when I found out the news that my mom passed away, I was on a bus. Man, I was on a bus. I was on a bus going up to Washington D.C., taking our children back to Washington D.C. And it was crazy, man. Like, oh man, if anything I'm gonna tell you, I'm not going to go into an emotional fit. I'm not going to bust out and start crying. I think I'm at peace with whatever happened. I'm truly at peace. I can say that now. You know, but you know, when I got the news, I was actually on a bus, and my cousin called me up and told me it, and it was like, yo, it just, I don't know, I didn't know what I can do, man. When I tell you all about tests that we go through, sometimes we gotta realize that we are in a universe of other people as well, and those same people, they have an influence on our reality too, in such a way. That's why you respect people's boundaries. You know what I mean? But when my cousin told me that I'm on a bus with 50 other people, and I just felt like exploding. If anything I can tell y'all, man, I just felt like exploding. I couldn't even explode. And I just had to ride the whole bus the whole time and hold that in until I can go somewhere and really just like process everything. If anything I can tell y'all, yeah, I had to man, I had to just chill, man. I didn't know what to do. After I dropped the children off, man, I just I don't know, man. I just had to go somewhere by myself for a minute and to process it. But it was just overwhelming at that point because it was like a surprise. It wasn't like whatever. It was a huge surprise. Um, but my mom was a real loving person. If anything, I can tell y'all, man. She really loved the world. She really did her best for the world. You know, everybody knows that about her. Um, wow, I got off a topic real quick. I got off a topic, but hey, what's up, Indigo Go? What's up? Yo, man. Yeah. Let me speak about segment, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know who I should speak on. I don't know if who should I speak on? One of these women. When did she move on into eternity? It was on January 3rd. January 3rd, what's that? 2000, it was, that was in 23. It was in 2023, so that was like a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. It's exactly 3 years until today. Yeah. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years ago exactly. And it's funny because I gotta go up north tomorrow, which it seems like I'm in the same cycle of going up there. That's deep. What y'all want to talk about? I wanted to read one of these powerful women real quick. And I just didn't know who I wanted to read from. I wanted to read one of these women that's powerful, man, because I wanted to connect to my message. Let me know when you touch down. Yeah, I'm coming up to Delaware. We have a property up in Delaware that we gotta deal with. So we're gonna be up in Delaware for the next couple days. For all our family in Delaware area. I don't know, Delaware, New York, New Jersey, DC, Baltimore. If you in that area, we're gonna be in that area. We can stage a get together. You know what I mean? We can stage a whole get together. All right, Tiamat. Should I do this? Tiamat, primordial sea, mother of all, and the chaos from which creation itself was born. They remember me as a monster, the beast of destruction, but they fail to see the truth. I am not evil. I am the force that shapes the world, the chaos that births order, and the darkness that defines the light. Without me, there is nothing. In the beginning, there was only me and Apsu, the sweet waters. Together, we created the first gods, children born of our union. And for time, the heavens and the earth were harmonious, but harmony is fragile, and the gods were birthed. And the gods we birthed grew restless, defiant, and loud. Apsu the ever so quiet one sought to destroy them and reclaim the peace. I, their mother, could not allow it. So this is talk about Tiamat. All right. As you know, the earth was called Tiamat at once. It's talking about the goddess Tiamat. All right. The force that would destroy the insolence of creation and restore the primordial waters to their rightful place. I created monsters to serve me, serpents, dragons, and beings so fearsome that the gods trembled. I forged the great tablet of destinies and gave it to Kingu, my chosen champion, the leader of my army. Together we would remind the gods that I, Tiamat, am the source of all life and power, and I could take it away just as easily. Murdoch came to me with his net, his bow, and the winds at his command. The battle was fierce, but I did not falter. I summoned storms, waves, my power shaking the heavens and the earth. Yet despite my strength, Murdoch's cunning prevailed. He cast his net over me, pierced my heart with an arrow, and divided my body to create the heavens and the earth. They celebrate Murdoch as the hero, the bringer of order, but they forget that his triumph came from me. My body became the very foundation of their world, the dome of the sky, the seas, the land. Every breath they take is owed to the chaos I provided. Without my destruction, there would be no creation. They call me a monster, but I am the mother of gods, the source of existence. They call me, they see only my rage, my fury, but they do not see the necessity of my actions. Chaos is not the enemy of order, it is its foundation. Without chaos, there can be no creation, no transformation, no life. To you who read my story, know this: I am not just the sea or the chaos. I am the cycle itself. Destruction is not the end, but the beginning of something new. They fear me because I remind them that nothing is permanent, not even the gods themselves. My name is Tiamat. My name Tiamat is spoken with dread, but it is also spoken with reverence. I am the force that brings both terror and life, the mother who gives and takes away. Let my story remind you that creation comes at a cost, and that the forces you fear most are often the ones that shape your existence. I know y'all was waiting for the drop. Tiamat. So, when I put the story of Tiamat together like this, in a sense, each woman in this book has a story that they tell. And they tell a story that has a symbolic nature to why they existed. Now, some may argue their existence like Tiamat never existed. That's a Sumerian god. Kingu and Murdoch, they never existed. They are of a symbolic nature. Yeah, they are of a symbolic nature. That's why it's for you to draw the symbolism from the story, not to take it as literal. That's what people do with characters in the Bible. They take all the characters in the Bible literal, and they don't take them to represent aspects of their own mind. Like Daniel is an aspect of your mind. Joseph is an aspect of your mind. various women of the Bible that they don't mention. All right, like Ruth, Deborah. You know what I mean? Even Sekhmet, ancient Leah. You know, different women that of ancient times. They represent aspects of the woman's mind. For real. Like different women of the Bible, when they mention them in their story, they represent aspects of the female's mind. That's the only way I can describe it. That's why I wrote this book in that nature. I wrote it in that nature, but I utilize other gods to explain it as well. But everybody are those people. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Sister Bay. I'm talking about everybody are those people. Yeah. We have those people within us. The story repeats itself over and over again. It repeats itself. You know? It repeats itself. What else? Anybody got anything else to say before I get off? This was a great broadcast. Despite my audios and my difficulty with my audio, I'm gonna say this. I really enjoyed like building with y'all, having a discussion, warming up. This is the first broadcast in the new house. It's the first broadcast in the new house, y'all. And I feel at home already. I feel at home already. Yo, any comments? Facebook, YouTube, any comments, any questions before I get off about the discussion? Any questions? Somebody might ask me about the olfactory bulb. What made me come to these conclusions? Somebody can question the stuff, the information. If you question the information, let me know. Where did I get the 1 through 31 from? All right, it was actually decoded. It was not like I found it anywhere. It was just decoded. Where did I get the 361 degrees? It was decoded. Now, for anybody, I'm gonna say this: for anybody that want to help us with this land, for anybody that want to help us with the land, please link up with Thea. For anybody that want to link up with us and help us with the land, please link up with Thea. Please don't hit me up. I don't want to get in trouble with y'all females. Even though some of y'all beautiful and all of that, I don't want to get in trouble, y'all. Alright? I want to keep it professional in such a way. It's not saying that we ain't dating and everything. We gonna start dating. But we're gonna keep it cordial. I'm gonna read the book, then ask questions. You can get this book from Amazon. If you want, you can if you go on Amazon, it's let me see. How far? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, if you go on Amazon, it's only like $13. Yo, who else on here? Facebook, YouTube, any questions or comments? Any questions or comments before I get off? Like when you go on Amazon, if you just look up like Lazarus LaMail books, if you look up Lazarus LaMail books, it'll show you yeah, it'll show you like this. See, look, it just came up. They must be listening to us. They must know we talking. They listening to us. They clickbaiting us. They know what we doing. Look, there you go. That's the women who changed the course of history. That's actually $19. But usually, like most of the books are like $13. As you know, we coming up on the 90-day water fast. Is coming in on February 1st. So these are the books that I wrote. You see, I got children's books as well that I wrote to help children with math. If you have any children that are young of age, you know, I would say like this is from like 3 to 5. They're from 3 to 5. They can read Numberland, Lazarus in Numberland. Lazarus in Numberland is like I said, it's a series of book where I teach children math. I feel as though it's a different way that I teach the children math. You know, I utilize like different tools, different multiplication tricks for them to learn at a young age. To be honest, you know, our children, like I said, they should be on a college level by the age of 10. And Lazarus in Numberland, that's our goal to achieve that. You know what I mean? And these are the numbers 1 through 10, the secret door to Numberland. You know, like I said, Return of the Taino. This right here is the Magic Stone book. This is where I do divinations. As you know, divinations are a part of our culture and a part of the way we connect up to the higher self. You can get that KDP as well, but you know what it is. I would rather just get something I can put in my hand, because this book right here, like if y'all want, I'll do a reading for everyone. Y'all want to do a reading? I'll do a reading before I get off. How about that? I'll do a reading. I'll pull one of the stones, and I'll see what the stone is saying. Give us some sacred advice. Now, when my mother was cremated, I actually took her ashes and I embedded her ashes in these stones. If y'all want to know, I embedded her ashes in these stones, and so these stones are a part of her and a part of me. I'm just saying. The symbols on the stones are ancient. That they go back to thousands of years, and they have a symbolic meaning when it comes to divination. But what I'm telling you, these clay stone tablets were made from my mother's ashes. So when I pull these stones, I actually pull them with the intentions of speaking to my mother, to be honest. So if you would like for me to do a reading, I'm going to do a universal reading for anybody on here. For anybody on here, I'm going to do a universal reading. And I'm going to get some real advice from the other world. And get some advice from a higher frequency. All right. So if you hear, you can just do a couple breaths. Do a couple breaths with me. All right. I would like for you to just breathe in. I know it's getting kind of late. I know I've been going hard for like 2 hours. But if you hear, just breathe. Come on, y'all. Breathe. I want y'all to take 3 deep breaths before I pull the stone. And if you took those 3 breaths with me, this stone is for you. The stone is for you. And I'll just share what the stones say. Okay? I'll share what the stones say. All right? So I know a lot of people utilize cards. I don't utilize cards. I don't utilize that system at all. I got amethyst in my hand. Okay? I got some raw quartz in my hand right now. Sis? I got raw quartz in my hand. We connected. Okay? Take 3 breaths. Let's breathe. Rain. This symbol is called rain. Alright? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read this for y'all so we all can get an idea of what our guardian angels, or if you want to call it that, higher frequency is speaking to us. You know what I mean? Hold on. I'm going to put it on the screen as well. I'm trying to see if I can put it on the screen. See if I can put it on the screen. If I can, I'm going to just read it. Alright. But the symbol is called rain. It represents as above, so below. Alright. Yeah, 1 second. So, if you took the breaths with me, this is going to be some great information for you. All right. So this is for whatever that's going on in the situation, how to deal with it. All right. So rain, hell, disruptive natural forces, elemental power, codex initiate of sacred upheaval, soul liberation, and the awakening storm. This is the symbol of disruption, natural force unleashed in your life to cleanse, awaken, and break illusion. Matur, which is the name of this symbol, Matur. It translates to mean rain, y'all. Matur. All right? But Matur represents the power of rain, hail, lightning, the raw elements that do not ask for permission. It signals change, invention, release, and the deep liberation of identity. This is a time where events may shift beyond your control, but not beyond your soul's design. Excuse me. This is a time where events may shift beyond your control, but not beyond your soul's design. Matur holds only one position. It always works through reversal. When this symbol is drawn, expect disturbance. Expect a break in a normal flow. This is the Great Awakener. It may come as a shock or may unfold as a slow but undeniable shift. You are being shaken awake, as if emerging from a sleep you didn't know you were in. The force may touch your work, your relationships, your identity, your very sense of safety. But this is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Your higher self set this wave in motion. The soul is breaking its old shell, and the break may feel violent, but it is not random. Any loss, collapse, or failure now must be seen as a cosmic summons. Grow now. The more intense the disruption, the more necessary the transformation. The storm is your teacher. The pain is your passage. You are not being destroyed. You are being demanded. And then it gave you a runic correspondence as hell, disruption, chaotic, divine force, catalyst, challenge, sacred pressure, breakthrough after destruction, return of the sun. Uranus, sudden change, cosmic surprise, evolution through chaos. Pluto, death of the old, purging of falsehood, rebirth. Mars, explosive release, energy realignment. In numerology is 5, 9, and 11. 5 for chaos, freedom, rapid transition. 9 for endings, spiritual elevation through dismantling. And 11, awakening, divine mirror, soul uprising. And then I gave you a couple spiritual scriptures in reference to this, which is Job 37:6. He says to the snow, fall on the earth, and to the rain shower, be a mighty uproar. And then I took you to Surah 24:43. Do you not see that Allah drives the clouds, then causes the rain to fall within it? And Matthew 7:25. And the rain comes, and the rains came, and the winds blew, yet it did not fall. And then I took you to the Messiah Code Wisdom, which is, this is not collapse. This is the cosmos removing what no longer serves the you that is becoming. Activation phrase. I do not resist the storm. I accept the break. I awaken through what shakes me. You know, rain is like disruption. That's why, like, if you think of it like disruption, the normal flow of things changing in such a way, or what you perceive to be normal, it changed abruptly. But rain is always sometimes unexpected. But you can smell it coming. You can smell rain coming. Thus, you can smell the disruption brewing up. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I mean? A lot of wisdom in this. A lot of wisdom. All right? What? I'm sending out the signal right now. Sending out the signal. Cool. Thank you to everybody. This was a great broadcast. 747-24/7. 361 degrees. Kum and peace to the Messiahs. I love y'all.
Ya Tawalu Kum. Ya Tawalu Kum. Ya Tawalu.
Got any comments? Put it in the comment section on the way out, please.
Ya Tawalu Kum. Kum. Kum.
just having a little bit of fun. You know what it is.
Coon. 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 Ya Dualu 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 Coon. Coon. Ya Dualu 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 Coon. 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 Ya Dwalukum. 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 Kum.
Messiah code.